How do you get an extra 2,000 of your dream or ideal clients to see an amazing piece of content or an offer every time you put it onto social media? So I'm going to walk you through a tutorial exactly how to do this. We'll do other ones for the LinkedIn platform or the Instagram platform, depending on where your target clients are. Today we'll go through Facebook. So one of the challenges is when we're writing content, organically, we only usually reach a very small percentage of our followers. And if we don't have a lot of followers, that's not a lot of people. So how can we guarantee that we get it in front of a couple of thousand of our dream clients every time we put a lot of energy and effort into a great piece of content? So I'm going to scroll down. I'll find a piece of content. This is hypothetical. Let's say this was a great piece of content that had a lot of value in it. It provided some problem solving, some solutions, a little bit of relevancy and entertainment, in that if a new potential client saw that, they'd feel like they got some goodwill and a value exchange before they've even come on board or transacted as a client. So it's a really good brand building strategy and building positioning and trust as an authority and thought leader in your particular industry or market. So we'll go through the steps. First thing you need to do is click on the Boost Post button. This next step is really important, and that's the goal of what you want to achieve with this particular piece of content. So you'll see here, Facebook sets an automatic goal. We're going to click on change. Now, if I just want dream clients to see my post and get the value from it, and there's no other agenda, no call to action, no offer, I'm going to click on get more engagement, because I want them to engage and interact and get familiar with the brand and get those little micro wins before they see an offer. If there was an offer or a call to action, you might have get more messages because you want them to reach out and take a next step. So it just depends on what type of content piece it is. So we'll stick with get more engagement and click save in this example. Because we're going with engagement, we're not going to add a button. We just want people to have a nice experience consuming a great piece of content. If you were going for the message option, naturally you're going to have a button, send message, or a call to action there. So this is really important. We're going to come down and create the audience of your dream or ideal clients. So what you're going to see here is a create new button. You want to click on that. Now you might write a little list with 3 or 4 key attributes of your ideal clients before you go through this process, or you might just simply come into Facebook and browse and see what targeting opportunities exist. So I'm just going to call this target clients number 2. You will start with the agenda, whether you have a gender specific offer or it doesn't matter. In my case, no, we're a marketing agency that provides marketing services to business owners. So then you're going to tick your age range of your ideal client. So again, you might want to be considering how old is your dream client, at what stage of life are they at. These are all things that influence their buying decision making and so forth, and the desire to read a piece of content. So put that in. Location, Australia is a good fit for us. We work with some businesses overseas, but the majority of our clients are in Australia, and that breeds familiarity. If they see something from another Australian, you might go as narrow as a suburb or a particular city, depending on what types of products or services you offer. So put that in that's relevant to your dream clients. The next step is coming down to detailed targeting. Now, this is a great opportunity if you're not familiar with finding your ideal clients to browse and put in some attributes that Facebook has in place. So you might look at interests and go, what are they interested in? Go into the different categories and target based on these categories here. Behaviors, you might look at their particular behaviors that you want in your ideal client, enter some of them in depending on what solutions you offer. For me, I'm going to go into demographics. Being a marketing agency, we want business decision makers, and you'll see a whole series of categories that we can choose from. So if I go to work, you'll see that there are industries. So if I wanted to target and write content for a specific industry, I could do that. But down here, you'll see business decision makers. So if you offer a B2B service and your target clients are also business decision makers, and this is a great example for you, I just simply select that option. And you might browse and explore some of these other industries depending on what you offer. And you might also look at their relationship status, some of the life events that they're going through, just to narrow this down to a much more targeted ideal client that you'd like to work with. Now, if we click back, we've got our audience in Australia of business decision makers. If I scroll down here, it's going to tell me how big my audience is, which is great. We don't want it to be too small. We also don't want it to be too broad. So anywhere between 10 to 20,000 is a great starting place. If you've got a massive budget, you can probably go a lot bigger, but I'm keeping in mind the average individual when we go through this example. If you go too small, you might not have the opportunity to reach many eyeballs. So if you stick to somewhere between 10 and 20,000, it's a good rule of thumb. If you're starting on a modest budget, we can click Save Audience, and I can come back and reuse this audience target clients number 2 anytime I want. So if I'm having success and getting some great feedback from running, sponsoring and boosting this content or running offers, we'd simply come back and keep doing it until it stops working. The final step is to set our schedule and duration, and you can tailor this to the goal of how many dream or ideal clients you want to see the particular content piece. Right now it's set at 7 days, and an estimated 200 to 600 people will see this per day. So that takes us within the range. So if I wanted to make sure 2,000 people were going to see it over the course of boosting this post, I might knock it up to 50 and it comfortably gets to 300 to 800 people a day, which should easily get us into that 2,000 category. And then I would simply hit boost post and off we go. Now you can set a much lower budget depending on where you're starting at, but the reality is it gives you a massive edge at ensuring that the right eyeballs are seeing these helpful pieces of content and can position you as an authority, a thought leader, someone that's provided goodwill prior to offering some sort of paid solution, and get a massive edge over your competition that are only doing organic and only reaching a small percentage of their existing audience. So start on a small budget. As the business grows, you might reinvest and allocate more of that increased revenue and profit to reach more eyeballs and compound the effect. If you found this video helpful, make sure you smash the like button and boost us up the rankings, and subscribe and follow depending on which platform you're watching this on, because we're going to put a lot more tutorials out there. If you've got a question or you want to request a particular video, put in the comments. I'll respond to that personally. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching.